yeah, I'm still working on figuring out the tech end, but so that's going to be something right up my alley, considering the background that I have as well. But that'll be a matter of time. But the point I was getting to, one day, we knew she was going to be able to pick out her pet when my daughter was 4, when she was officially done potty trained and everything like that. So it was like three. It might have been 3, but I think we were waiting till she was a little bit older. Uh, Gave up the binky, and to put fully potty trained, everything like that. It was just really smooth with her. It was easy. Um, but she was allowed to get a cat. I am not an animal person, at all, really. Um, Never really was. I mean, I had like hamsters, and I had a guinea pig that lived like 12 years when I was a kid and teenager. That thing lived forever. But and I took them everywhere from one side of the eastern seaboard to the other. It was an adventurous critter. But anyway, um, they show up with not one but 2 kittens. I mean, just like out of the kind of out of the blue, and it's just like I asked my wife, "Is like, would it matter if I even did I even have a say in it? No, not really." So it's just like they show up with not one but 2 cats, and I'm like, I know who the hell is going to end up taking care of these things, and so far I do, and
Uh-huh.
it's like they critters got me trained on treats time and everything like that. You appreciate this one, so the little one, okay, well, if I sleep on my stomach, she'll crawl up and fall asleep basically on the back of my neck, on the back of my shoulder,
Yep.
until it's time to it's about 5:30, 6 o'clock. She'll reach over with a paw and then start throwing me snowballs like, Daddy, wake up. And if that doesn't work, her name is Whiskers. She'll stick her whiskers right inside my ear, and it's just like, that'll get you up real quick. You know what I mean? So
They
I
love
just thought,
sleeping on your head. It's
yeah.
like,
That's the thing. They like the high spots, and they're also pretty affectionate. So it's just like, yeah, if they could fall asleep like my headset, they would do that. Cuddly creatures, but anyway, pleasure to meet you, and this is going to be fun. But the fun part is, and the only difficult end is, of course, for me. I'd say more technically. Um, when it comes down to, it'd be so much easier if I could do everything right on Riverside, but I don't like Riverside's add-ons. They don't really have, uh, you know, as much to work and play with. But I'm wondering if I go premium, if they have a good package as well, because I love what I was doing on Canva. But Canva, I can't do this, what we're doing. I can't, just have people call in and work with things that way. It gets to be a pain, yeah.
who do you got? You got Corny right in back of you?
Got what?
You got Corny in back of you?
Corny?
Yeah, Jim Cornette.
Oh no,
Did I see him on the
no,
shelf?
nope. We got well, this is a different one. This is Father Sean Hogan. That was a gimmick for a different time.
Oh,
But you
yeah,
got
I can't see it that clear. I can see Macho Man.
yeah, and you got Hollywood Hogan, Demolition, Jake the Snake, all the way through Vader in the back, and they got a bunch of these things, and they accumulate over the years, and you got different takes and models, and I'm just like, I was gonna eBay these things off, but I'm like, no, this is a good backdrop for what I'm trying to do here as far as a new podcast. So I figure, and I think you appreciate this one. Maybe it's nothing. It's just a little pine box. But when I say a little pine box, I mean I use it for my better pens, winning lottery tickets, things like that. So it's a cool little box, but of course, full blown figure.
Yeah, no,
You love me around. You love me around Halloween. My backyard has. You'd be amazed just how much kayfabe is actually hidden in my Halloween layout. If I do it again this year. Um, got a diploma from Skull Crushers, which was Agent and Streets training school.
yeah, yeah.
Few people talk about few people in the world that got one of those. You know what I mean? But I survived it all, and it really does, start you off with a, an indie career, and from there things, spread, and you develop, your namesake develops, and everything like that. It gets pretty cool, but also it's now currently null and void, but for my 30th birthday, my wife got me a certified WWE stock when they had the IPO. But the thing is, though, I held on to that stock for a number of years. I just let the dividends reinvest. So by the time I was done, I had like 6 shares of TKO. Um, so it's like a $30 gift, which I'm still have forever. I'm still going to keep because there's a gold plate in there. It's freaking cool.
Yeah.
And a few pictures from my heyday and stuff like that. I mean, I got a lot more going on too. So you get idea of the layout, the cut of my jibs. So it depends which camera I wanted to use or otherwise play with.
No, I think it's a formidable backdrop. You got a bunch of wrestling and metal, man. That's all that matters.
That's exactly my channel. That's exactly what I'm building here. It's like, yeah, okay, wrestling with the heavy metal vibe or vice versa. I mean, I do plan on having uh current and former Judas Priest members and stuff like that on here as well. I mean, that's just
Oof.
where I'm looking to go with this. Lofty goals, but I know Ripper personally. The
Oh
who,
man,
who,
have Ripper on here, man. That'd be great, man.
exactly, and that's the thing. He probably do a half an hour spot on here and things like that. Yeah, things like that. He probably love to between uh gigs somewhere.
What's he like performing? He's performing solo with a band, and now playing Priest songs,
It's
playing his originals.
it's all KK's priest.
Oh,
KK's
he's touring with KK.
he's singing for KK's priest.
Oh, okay.
Um, and you have the Les Binks as well. So when you throw it together, you have two Judas Priests at the moment.
All right.
You have Judas Priest, of course. You got you all you had the you have Ian Hill and Rob Halford of the original
Yeah.
lineup. Oh, I'm not going to discount Scott Travis. I want the drummer. If I want, what would my dream, my idea, and this is a question I would have for these guys too, is like, what if we could get um not to discount KK's priest drummer, but if we could get Scott Travis over to KK's priest, I mean, just from the last album, KK's priest is the best priest right now. Is the better priest, just based on their first album and the latest priest album. That's just my, getting into the middle thing. I could get go off and on like that with getting onto that history. Do you hear me okay, or am I too? Things are. How's the communication? You hear everything okay? Too loud? Not too loud?
I can hear you perfectly fine. It's the video is going in and out, so it's clearing
Yeah,
up.
it's uploading and live recording.
Yeah.
I don't know why it does that. Um, I don't see anything with it, but yeah, the final production, I guess, even on your end, everything else is sharpened up and a lot clearer, from my understanding. Once it's done uploading,
No, audio
yeah,
sounds good. It's
here we go.
Crazy Craig.
Now we got the crew together. Right? Sheesh, I didn't
What are
get
you
my
waiting
notes
on?
happen. Oh, and it's script. Hold on. I forgot where I was going with this. Well, I got this far anyway. I was actually working on a kind of a script. Let me do this. I got a teleprompter and everything. I. Why can't I paste? All right, never mind. I guess I'm not doing it. Um, Shoot, that kind of no, that kind of really. Oh, I wonder if I could share this.
Well, it's been, I would say, I think we would all agree, an interesting start to the week, wrestling wise, anyway, with what happened on Monday.
Oh, yeah, that's let's start off with that. Jey Uso versus Drew McIntyre. Um, they started off with their best foot forward with a lot of story progression, and Jey Uso won. I was wrong last week. I thought a lot of the matches were going to end in. I'm not gonna say botches, but like
Turmoil,
there'll
like
be a
more on the dark side
yeah,
rather than every face winning.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, just disqualifications and what have you. But I was wrong because it turned out pretty cool with a lot of clean finishes. And Jey Uso over Drew McIntyre. Then of course you get the standings with Logan Paul and John Cena, to which end I really don't care. I mean, it's great with John Cena planning his, his the end of his career and everything like that, and what matches he's going to be doing. Like he's going to steal the entire road to WrestleMania. Um,
No, it's
with
of course.
probably memorable matches as we go. Um,
Is he going to win the
okay.
Royal Rumble? More likely than not.
Yes. Going straight, going straight ahead there. Good thinking. Follow that train to the end. Yeah, I think they are definitely pushing John Cena for a Royal Rumble win. And also on that end, to get her right back into the mix, Charlotte Flair might be interesting on the women's end. But we'll get into that closer. Um, uh, let's talk about Rhea Ripley. I like talking about Rhea Ripley and against uh, Liv Morgan, and I was actually surprised, but also glad that Rhea won the strap. But I don't get the 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 drive-by high five from the Undertaker. I mean, that was kind of
It
they could
was
have done more with that.
Raw.
They could
Raw
have,
was more of
Yeah,
here we're on Netflix.
yeah. The
Let's do
yeah,
showcase
of
every
Netflix,
single
yeah.
wrestler that we can possibly do, no matter if they get booed or not. Let's have basically all the good people win, no real interference, and it just basically was very vanilla and over the top. They could have had just a basic regular Raw episode and still have the same effect, but they went 4 matches and tried to make it too extravagant for the Netflix viewers, and it really wasn't worth it.
no,
No,
no. Uh, Changing gears. Um, the Ulafala, who has the tribal Samoan bloodline lay. Um, and that's of course I go with the OTC there. Uh, Roman Reigns. I mean, I keep going back to knowing Joe when he was like 14 years old, bringing me water and ice and shit. I mean, Joe, I don't know, is something else. He was a good kid, and I could only imagine him backstage throughout his career. Um, there's reasons why he's like where he is, the boldest goat, and even beat Solo Sikoa for the Samoan title. What do you think with the turmoil with all the cousins?
I don't
Well,
know.
I mean, we were talking about this the other day. Is that okay? So where do we go from here? So he's the head of the table again. He's the tribal chief. What about everyone else? What about Haku's sons, Jacob Fatu? When are we going to see
Now we're talking.
like
Now we're talking.
Jacob Fatu has been, highly anticipated for quite some time. He had an
Mhm.
incredible match when he was in Major League Wrestling for the title with Hammerstone. And since
Mhm.
then, people have been wanting him to get to the big show. He's here now. What are we doing with him? Like,
Did they? They might be saving him for something. They might introduce him at the Royal Rumble. I doubt they might want to try to run him through NXT. But if he goes through NXT, he'll probably tear through that fairly quickly.
who do you mean,
Um,
Hammerstone or Jacob
no,
Fatu?
Fatu.
Well, Jacob Fatu is he's already here.
Yeah,
What
NXT is
on
no longer
the main roster?
Oh, Jacob Fatu's been he's Solo Sikoa's enforcer.
enforcer.
Yeah,
He totally he skipped all that. I'm saying is
yeah.
what are they going to do with him
No,
now? Like he's very athletic. He got himself in a really good shape. And like what when's he going to be part of the, I don't know, title picture?
but that's the title picture, or they're still going to mix around over the Ulapala. That's the thing. They have a. The thing is though, it's like I could see people fans getting tired of essentially Usos and Fatu's beating the hell out of each other on a weekly basis in different scenarios, different matches. Almost ambiguous face versus heel. But
So what? Do they all become one
they've been
squad
they
then?
I mean, I'm tired of
no
it.
they yeah but the thing is though, for these guys, they've been working on these matches, like even like the construct of these matches and basic workout of these things since they were like 4 years old. They were planning on, because they know each other inside and out and things like that. It's all very instincts and everything like that, and it makes for great fights, great matches, and everything like that. But like I said, they try to get Canadians involved in the mix and also others throughout it, but all of it comes back down to the inner turmoil between Reigns, Sokoa, and like all the cousins now.
Well, yeah, and then now you have The Rock as the High Chief. So how is that
And
going
yeah, yep.
to
That
interfere with basically Roman's
oh,
tribal chief reign? Are they finally going to have the WrestleMania match? Is the bloodline fully one symbol, or is it two separate stables? That's the question. And SmackDown showed nothing about it because again, Reigns wasn't there, Solo wasn't there. Only two of the actual bloodline was there against Jimmy and Cody. So, like,
yeah.
what is going on?
This I don't know either. This is gonna be a lot more. Well, okay, this breaks, changes things a little bit too, but now we're getting into the idea of never mind, I forget where I was going with that. I'll edit that out.
here's the thing.
But
While
still,
you're
it's just like I'm thinking, and it's not. Anyway,
contemplating that, I'll say something. But
yeah,
since
good. Save me.
SmackDown moved since SmackDown left Fox, right?
That's what I was getting at.
It has now taken a back seat again to Monday Night Raw. When it was on Fox, it was supposed to be the flagship show, the premier brand, because of
everywhere.
Yeah. And because they were on a major network. Now they've been relegated to USA, which I mean is not a bad thing per se, but like I don't even watch SmackDown anymore really because I can't. I mean, I've been watching the recaps, but that's not watching the whole show. And there's not much. I just watched the recap from last Friday's SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
you can
the
watch
Friday
in
just
20
passed.
minutes. You can watch the whole damn thing in 20 minutes.
There was nothing compelling about it. I was like, what is happening here?
Yeah, they're still pushing Cody Rhodes, saying that he's like the next thing, and yet it's just drawn out.
They're really.
Fan, so.
No, me neither. I hate to say that, but too, it's just like I was a Stardust fan. But anyway, that games aside, I am not a big fan either because they're pushing him. They thoroughly said he is the Hulk Hogan of this era. They're pushing him, Cody, to the moon and back. So he's on the run of a lifetime, and much like Roman Reigns at one point, we're going to get tired and bored of it, but it'd be good for selling points. I don't know.
Yeah, but Cody's not going to last as long as Roman did.
I don't think so either.
I think once WrestleMania hits, whoever he's facing, he goes in the battle.
They're not. First of all, if he wrestles Cena's going to take the title,
right?
Like Cody doesn't. I don't know. Nothing resonates with me with him. Like I get it. Dusty Rhodes was one of the greatest of all time. Had more charisma than anyone. Not exactly the greatest wrestler in the ring, but his brother's a hell of a wrestler. Doesn't get enough credit either. But
well put.
Yeah, like Dustin is a.
Thank you. That's.
Yeah. And he never held the world title.
Right.
You're getting into like when it gets into infamous characters, you're getting into a Roddy Piper syndrome with that. Those two are should be in the same pod, the same boat there. One, I like what they actually did at one point together at WrestleMania 12, the golden Cadillac versus the white Bronco. That whole street fight. Oh, that was classic. You guys know the fight that I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You remember that? Okay, yeah. And it's just like I like Dusty. I like everything about what he's got going on. I think he was still. It wasn't AEW. He's down to I want to say Ring of Honor with
Sammy Guevara.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I mean, he held the. Well, to be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure because I don't watch. The only time I ever see Ring of Honor is when I'm watching AEW. I'm not gonna watch it on the Honor Club because that's just I can't bring myself to do that. But
right.
Last time I remember he was the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion with Sammy Guevara, and he was the Ring of Honor Trios Champion with Kevin Von Erich's two sons, Marshall and
Trio Champion.
Well, the AEW they actually have a 6-man title.
Yeah, I was gonna say I call it a 6-man title no matter what. It's just like I'm not gonna call it the triage or whatever.
Well, they got a lot of trios, so the Death Riders are the trios champions for AEW. You know those
Why
good
don't they
old
just
Death
do
Riders.
what New Day did when they had the belts? It was still a tag team, but it was the three of them, and they wrestled.
Well, they were under the Freebird rule.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Let me get something else up.
They were just making a belt just for a belt. Is that basically what they were doing?
Well, AEW has so many belts.
They have a belt for burgers. They have a belt for wings.
Yeah. They got belts for channels that's not even on.
Belt for the toilet.
They're gonna have the Max Championship soon.
Who's the shittiest wrestler? Oh, let's give it to this guy. There's no reason to have so many belts. You diminish the championship.
You know what? To go back on what Tim was saying before, what was he talking about? Rhea?
Okay, I know you love Rhea.
Oh, I love me some Rhea. Come on, come on, Rhea is just.
She looks so different without makeup, though.
She's a good looking girl, man, and I mean that in the best possible way. But she's a hell of a wrestler, man. Like she is instrumental in really, bringing women's wrestling to the forefront. But again, what we see today, I'm tired of her too.
Who?
I'm tired of her. What are you saying, Tim?
Who? No, who you got tired of?
Rhea. Like, okay. So she's probably the best wrestler they have on the roster.
Yes, she's the best pure wrestler that they have.
But like, all right, she got the title.
How much can you keep her in the spotlight and not give other people? Like with NXT, a lot of people are now saying that Roxanne Perez, that she's going to be coming up to the main roster. So what is she going to get buried? And then Charlotte's coming back. So then how much of an impact that's going to be? Which one is she going to be on? And you still got Liv Morgan. You still got Bayley. You still got Naomi. You still got all these women wrestlers. And, them putting the extra belt there is nice, but.
Well, now they got two. There's another one. I think Lyra Valkyria is wrestling.
What's her face from Damage Control? Dakota Kai.
For the Intercontinental belt.
Yes.
Did that happen?
I think that's
no. But
tomorrow.
I think everyone is leaning that Dakota Kai is winning that title.
I think Valkyria is winning that.
They'll probably give it to her because of her connection to Becky Lynch. And
is Becky coming back? That's going to be another thing.
I mean, yeah, and plus, Becky is in the same category as Charlotte. They're great wrestlers, but they've already won all these titles. What are they going to do? Like, throw the belt to the same person again? Or they have so much talent in NXT, they don't even know what to do with, man. It's like,
well, this is what happens. This is what I think me and Tim were talking about last week. It's you have too much talent. Or we were talking about this with Brock Lesnar. You're like, if they should bring back Brock Lesnar, I'm like, to where? Like, there's no room for him. There's not enough TV time as it is. And you get 3 hours of Raw and 2 hours SmackDown, and then what are you going to do? Put him in NXT? He'll just destroy everyone there. It's just you have no room when your roster's fully stacked, and then a lot of people just disappear from it. Like the Wyatt Six. Like, are they even on TV anymore? Like,
that was a waste.
You have this stable, and yet you don't use them correctly because you're just trying to team them up versus other stables, and you don't need to. When you're supposed to have this disruptive force, they would just basically attack different people, and then you create something out of it. But they're not doing that, so that's going to the way. It's just there's too many people, and they're trying to figure out how to keep everyone with TV time. So they do these stupid tag team matches. They have Cody wrestle so he's on TV, and then they have other matches where there's like, why are these three people together? Like, I understand the whole Naomi thing, like throwing her in because Cargo got hurt, and then when is Cargo coming back? That's the other thing. And then are they going to say who hurt her and eliminate her? And people think it's going to be Bianca because she was somewhat jealous, and they're going to cause that feud. But is she ready for WWE. A lot of
She's-
people say she's not even ready for WWE. She should be in NXT.
She's greener than a bell pepper, man. Like
Right. It's like
oh, she's a generational talent. Look, she's in great shape. She looks good. That doesn't make her a good wrestler.
right.
Well put.
Yeah, she's
Well
no
put.
Danica
I agree
Patrick.
with everything Mike is saying. Yeah, this is
Yeah, it's just they gotta find the right timing, and it's just not enough time. I think that's why they probably brought back Saturday Main Event to try and showcase
right.
other things that they can't really get to during the week. So
Which I'm glad
But
because
the pro-
back in the day, that was like my favorite. You know, my dad and I used to stay up late on Saturdays watch. He used to tape it, and he used to go into the TV guide and like take the advertisement for it and then like put it on the tape.
didn't they also used to have like a 12 o'clock on a Saturday, like a recap or something of house shows?
oh, Shotgun Saturday Night. Yeah, that was just
No, it was
yeah,
like the
exactly
morning.
that.
It was like the morning thing.
Man, you remember
Oh,
that
so-
match back in the day? It was one of my favorite. I've watched it so many times. It was on Saturday Night's Main Event. It was like I think it was maybe like an '87. Hogan and Paul Orndorff had that steel cage match where they both dropped at the same time out
At
of
the
the
same
cage.
time, oh,
Yeah, man.
Yep.
That's it, man. That's when they
yeah,
had
those memories. I mean, it's just funny. You know, like you said, you had a, you know, I was right there with you with when you mentioned your dad and you would stay up late and tape it and everything like that. And I was just thinking, I did that with my cousin, and you know, I think we all have Saturday Night Main Event stories, especially when you got you know, Hogan posing in the ring, but he never noticed like 30,000 people yelling, "Look out behind you!" And you got Andre the Giant Dude running, and but you know that takes time. It's like you get 30,000 people, look out behind you. Andre finally comes up behind him and you know headbutts the crap out of him, and the rest is history. But um, I, all those moments and the birth of Hacksaw and his 2x4 and everything. There was so many main event
Dr.
memories.
Dog.
Yeah.
that reminds me. I remember it was Hacksaw was having a feud with the Iron Sheik, and we were at the matches at Nassau Coliseum. And the next day, they were in the papers that they got arrested because the two of them were doing coke together in the limo.
That is typical and that is classic. I hate to say that, but that's kind of where we're definitely at with that.
Different times.
Well, you also gotta remember, like wrestling back then, like people really didn't see them as like something different than what was on TV. The only time that actually happened was Andy Kaufman when he was on the Late Show, and him and the King Lawler basically had that little feud, and then it skyrocketed from there. Like, but people really didn't see these people outside, like not like now where it's social media is everywhere. You know, it was different time. So when you hear something like that, you're like, wait, what? Who was it with who? Like I think when we were in college, wasn't was the Heartbreak Kid got into a fight in a bar because someone challenged him or something?
We remember that. I remember going to. Well, we've been to several shows in Syracuse. I've been on other shows. Syracuse with ex-girlfriends, oddly enough. But no, we went out there to several shows. I remember.
Yeah.
Those
Was
are
that where
those big.
you got in a fight over there, right? Was that the place I was thinking
Yeah,
of?
and Scott. The time Scott Hall, the Scots came in. Scott Bigelow and Hall. Even just you know regular street clubs. I couldn't imagine those guys. I wouldn't with them, you know what I mean? Even I wouldn't mess with them. Forget about it. But yeah, he got jumped by a bunch of punks out of this club in Syracuse, and I know that club in Syracuse. Been to that club in Syracuse, and that is kind of typical for said club in Syracuse. There's always cops are always there, but yeah, this case they really almost. I mean, Michaels had to give up the Intercontinental title. He was beat up so bad. Um, medically and everything like that. But somehow he came back better. He came back, his eyes a little cockeyed, but Shawn Michaels, came back and Hall of Fame career as the rest of history. But still, that was almost the end of his career entirely. I remember that. Goldust was big at the time too, but they were saying with that brawl though, when the other wrestlers, like I said, Bigelow and Hall show up, they all ran. Whoever was beating up on Michaels. So who knows why? Girlfriends, stuff like that. I'd imagine. To address the elephant in the room, and Donkey for that matter. Hogan getting booed. There's a lot of different angles and takes people could have on that, and they're saying, "Oh, it's because with the Bubba Cuckold tapes back at 20 years ago and stuff." The Bubba Love Sponge, that whole situation, those tapes.
Yeah, with the guy in
Yeah,
in Florida, the radio host.
right. Yeah, but that whole Bubba cuckold situation. Um, but still, it's just like I don't know if it was that. I don't think it's people getting tired of being sold beer either. More and more, and I didn't think so until I didn't really think so until Bautista chimed in and had to say something. Now I'm thinking, okay, yeah, there was definitely liberal biased booze going on there.
Well,
What's your take on
yeah,
that?
but of course, Hogan doesn't pretend to. Rather, Hogan is open about his political affiliation, so obviously, he's going to have a lot of people opposing him just for that. But
Yeah,
Yeah, but would the crowd really
getting
that?
getting
I
tired.
mean, I don't. Why are they? If it wasn't for Hogan, we wouldn't even fucking have any of this shit.
Yeah.
Give credit where credit's due. You may not like the guy.
Was he
I,
booed?
I honestly, I didn't like when he ripped off his shirt and it said "Raw is Netflix." I was like,
They were just
really?
they were over the top with the whole Netflix thing.
It was really pissing me off, man. Like, I'm like, yeah, we know we're on Netflix. Okay, cool.
I think that was a part of it. I mean, if I could take it or take all that away and the negativity and depression, everything like that, to I was going with that too. I'm sorry. This happens sometimes. So you just get into a mental train wreck when you got several things pulling the station at the same time. And anyway, just trying to mentally sort that out. As a disclaimer, though, I don't know if, what Craig told you, but my situation, I'm here pretty much because this is going to be it for the rest of the rest of my life. Um, I'm here doing this because so I can do. It's like I don't get nothing for disability, but I've been a cripple and in torturous pain, agonizing pain. I mean, I'm a dude who, I mean, take a look. I'm a dude who kind of digs pain. You know what I mean? And it's just like, no, what's gone down with my hip and my back and everything like that? It still feels like there's a crowbar inserted between my lower back and kind of popping out the side of my hip. That's what it feels like 24/7. Every day is slightly more painful than the nightmare that preceded it. That's my life. That's what I do. And so sometimes I'm going to be a little medicated, but that's also what kind of makes me fun. So full disclaimer with that, what's going on here. That's why I like this team. Michael York, Mike, you're a great addition. Craig, you're right about that one. This is a nice lineup for what we have going on. We may have others. We may have surprise guests. We may have any number of things, but this is going to be the preface of something fun, exciting, and new, and well, ultimately, welcome to Kayfabe Chronicles, baby. But keeping things going, that's what I was trying to do. I was doing good at the first place because I did have notes. I did have kind of results to mount down and go over. What else I got there? Forget where I was moving on to.
Actually, to add one thing about Hogan, man, did you notice how he was moving?
Oh yeah, he's not moving very
Yeah.
well at all.
I mean, Jimmy Hart was just, Jimmy Hart. Woo! Hogan could barely walk.
Yeah.
Didn't wrestle really. I think he had what, like a couple matches.
No, Jimmy Hart has taken his share of bumps.
I know he has taken a share of bumps, but not as much as Hogan has. Hogan
of
went
course
to
not.
what? He was like almost 50 something.
Yeah. He was.
I'm
Yeah.
shocked Flair is still walking around.
At all, right? Yeah. No kidding. And I'm not. Go figure that. I'm the one on our crowd.
Well, you got kicked in the balls too many times. That's basically what happened.
Well, that too. Oh no, Michael. Over time we'll get into some of my side stories. Just like, yeah, okay, this one time in Biloxi, I got waffled in the balls with a Singapore cane. It's just like, because you go to the match and you go to the gimmick, but so all you need to do is like not know it's coming or shift the wrong way, or basically someone just makes a mistake and just hauls off and wallops you square in the nards.
Oh, yeah. If you're taking a nut shot with a kendo stick, that's not
well,
going
the first three hit, my stomach. And there's, it just goes across over the front. It has the illusion of it, but there's always one that ends up errant. There's gonna be a lot of stories involving me with ice bags on my balls. Yes, and I wonder why I had trouble making Michaela. Jesus. What's the other? No, I think with the that Hogan situation though, it comes back to I believe it could be with the over commercialization that the Raw on Netflix, it was like commercial built into commercials. There was things involved where it's just like, okay, this is getting to be, overkill with their end of trying to get in advertising and what have you. Then have Hogan come in and fill in, and it's like, oh, forget it. But I'm on Team Hogan. I don't know who would be on Team Batista, who is kind of, or how Eddie used to say, Bautista. Used to piss him off. It's great. I like where we're going with a lot of things. We're getting back into Raw. Let me see. Going back to my notes here. Continue, please. I'm trying to go find
What,
something.
the Drew McIntyre Jey Uso one?
Drew McIntyre.
Oh no.
Drew should
I
have
don't know
won.
what they're doing with Drew McIntyre, man. Drew McIntyre should be a champion.
But again, there's no belt to really give him. And then basically it was just a cheesy roll up because again, they're making him this, big guy who basically wrestles and defeats people, but he wastes too much time, and then it kind of backfires on him like every single time. So they're making him to be like this pansy who doesn't really pay attention to his matches and loses because of little technicalities that he gets rolled up or something like that. But
yeah,
like that's not how you want to start your first match. Like have something go on, especially with all the interference that was going on between them with other matches. What nobody from the Bloodline was coming out to do anything to distract them, or where was Braun Breaker? Where was
Braun Breaker? If they don't start doing something quick with him, that's going to be a waste of an immense talent.
When was the last time he wrestled?
I don't even know. Survivor Series?
No, he got the belt back. So
no, wait. He was on Saturday Night's Main Event, right?
Yeah, that's when he got the belt back, right?
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So he hasn't wrestled since then. So that was
What was
what.
the point of him dropping the belt?
So Jey Uso got it, and then they included the bloodline where he ended up going back to the original bloodline so he can help Roman.
How long was Jey Uso's intercontinental run? Like a couple of weeks?
No, I think it was a couple months, and that was it. It
No.
wasn't. I don't think it was more than 2 months.
I mean,
It wasn't. I don't.
I'm tired of Jey Uso.
What wasn't that one or wasn't that memorable? Either way, it was just like in that mix that the IC title was just kind of.
I think they just used it as a catapult for him to go back to the bloodline. That was basically it. So,
Right.
And then they give the belt back to Braun Breaker, and that was the end of that. So are they going to still have him separated because he wasn't there on SmackDown?
And then how do you not have your world heavyweight champion? How long was Gunther on the show? And he wasn't even on it live. They just had like a taped promo.
Yeah, it was a taped promo, and he was sitting ringside. That was it. Same with Breaker. The only time you saw him was by ringside. And those seats that they show like every time there's a new match.
Well, they're definitely stretching out their title reigns. They're growing things out definitely. You can tell. But moving on though, into next week, in a street fight. I say that kind of funnily because I got a story about how many different uses of the word street referring to a street fight. When Adrian Street with Linda Street are in a street fight, calling that, it gets a little weedy. Anyway, you got Damian Priest against Finn Balor. Any street fight is going to be a great fight. Hate to say it, there's going to be a lot of innovations of violence with gimmicks, toys, and weapons. And I hate to say it, I hope no one bleeds. But with that too, I do like Damian Priest.
So basically, it's Priest versus Judgment Day.
Right.
Boring.
Yeah, once they're gonna have that. That's why I got tired of the whole bloodline thing. Like bloodline match. Okay, we know even at the single match, they're coming out. We know that's happening.
If you're having, if you're coming out with a 3-hour program, right, to go back to Raw on the biggest streaming platform in the world, and how many matches you contested? 4
matches,
and not all of them were a title match. Like you got. You got Braun Breaker's got an IC belt. You got Nakamura's got the US title. You got the Gunther is a world heavyweight champion. You got tag team title. You got guys that have tag team titles. I don't even know who has the tag team titles anymore. They're like an afterthought.
Is it DIY?
Isn't it the War Machine's got one set?
Yeah, DIY got the SmackDown tag titles and Viking Raiders. I'm not calling them that.
I call them War Machine. I'm sorry.
Well, that's not, you got the Viking Raiders. I still call it the WCW tag team titles because that's what the world heavyweight champion is versus the WWE champion.
I mean, it seems like they have no interest in tag team wrestling at all. It's like
okay. I got Michaela here. Hey, hon, how was your day?
I had to
How'd you do?
Oh, okay. I think we got
I don't know what they're doing. Like, I haven't seen a full tag team match in a while.
Yeah, well put. Yeah, even in NXT, it's just like some of these matches are either drawn out or kind of, almost squashes. That's the thing when you have like certain talent. That's why they don't last too long. Some don't last too long in NXT. They just kind of go, right through the whole system pretty quick, and you get called up. It's weird.
Or you just never see them again. They go back to the indies, or they go to AEW or wherever, go to Japan or wherever.
Well,
They
Ciampa.
seem to have like good.
Ciampa took forever to get up there, and everyone kept passing him and passing him. It's like when you bring up Ciampa, even Gargano was up there before Ciampa. Like it just
Yeah, but neither one of them can survive as a singles competitor. That's why they had to get back together.
so now Trick lost the belt. Trick Williams coming up.
On a side note, I got a Johnny Gargano. Thank you, sweetheart. I got a Johnny Gargano story. There was stepbrother. I want to say some sort of brother. I'm like, okay, I thought it was fishy. He was an RA of mine at uh, Mercyhurst when I was
Hello.
when I was an RA.
I thought he froze.
He
And
did.
his brother was Johnny Gargano, and he knew a lot of stuff and everything like that. But well, as an RA, I fired him. So, short story long, I fired Johnny Gargano's little brother. It's kind of funny, but
From
side
where?
note.
From Gannon?
Mercyhurst.
Mercyhurst.
Like I said, I was the basically assistant director of residence life, the coordinator of student development, all that stuff. You go say hi, honey? No, you already said hi. Get in there. Hi. Anyway, um, that's what I got going on. That's my life, and we'll keep the things going there. But I'm trying to think of where to we kind of getting into boring again. We know Dakota Kai will win the women's IC title over Sarah Akira.
It's gonna be
I
Ilya.
don't know if we get into that. You think so?
I can't see Dakota Kai winning. How many times they're gonna give a belt to Control Damage? So I don't know.
Yeah, right. Well, they keep that going. And where I don't know either. Is just kind of
Wait, where's Asuka? She got hurt?
I think she's hurt again. Same thing with Kyra, whatever her name is.
Kyrie Sane?
Yeah.
yeah. I confirmed that. I think.
She can't step
Penta
up
versus
either,
Chad
Asuka.
Gable. Getting into that, so getting into once again, we could get a bunch of mid carders fighting it out.
For what?
I don't know. Whatever Penta and Chad Gable are having a match over. I'm just saying they're having a match, and with this, I like Chad Gable because he has everything behind him. But Penta, I'm sure, be like he comes in with great fanfare. To be interesting what goes on with that one.
Right. They actually have a true tag team on that.
Yeah, the Creed brothers.
Creed brothers, but yet they don't use them that way. Like they should have the belts more over than the War Raiders. Like it's
No, those guys are good, man. Like, tell you something. What's his name? Not Rowe, but Hanson. That Ivar, whoever the fuck his name is.
Yeah.
That guy can move for a big guy, man. Like, what about the Authors of Pain? How come they don't do shit with those guys?
Oh, Bronson Reed. Like where's
Killer
he
Cross is just buried.
Yeah.
What happened to Bronson? Oh yeah, Bronson Reed got hurt in the War Games match.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
I thought Fatu got hurt.
No, Bronson Reed got hurt, man. Like, he jumped. I think when he jumped through the table, or some shit happened.
Oh, okay.
But L.A. Knight, he's buried already too.
Oh, I can't see that, but you're right. But still, they need to do a lot more with LA Knight, I'd imagine. What
think
are
they
they
are.
do with them?
They've never
What's that?
respected him, man. This is like he was in WWE years ago under his real name, and he went out. He got bigger. Well, I remember seeing him when I lived in LA. they had championship wrestling from Hollywood out there, and he would as Eli Drake. You know, that's Eli Drake, LA Knight. Then he went to TNA. Then he finally made it here. I don't he's kind of a one-trick pony. But
Okay.
we
I was thinking age gets to be a factor as well already.
yeah,
But,
well
you know,
he's
it's only
he's
that
like
period.
40, he's in his early 40s already.
Yeah.
Who was that? The match that we haven't even touched upon yet is Punk and Seth Rollins, man. Like,
And
Yeah, I forgot about that, Sherry. I was getting to that. Yeah.
that was a clean match too. Like they just
Yeah.
but a lot of stuff was popping up that the same way he defeated Ambrose in AEW is the same way he defeated Seth Rollins.
who Punk?
Yeah.
To be quite honest with you, how did the match even end?
Well, he put him to sleep. Rollins went back, hit the rope, and then fell on top of him because CM Punk fell to the floor. And then he just picked him up and then put him to sleep again, which is the same way he defeated Ambrose in AEW. So they used the same finisher ending twice, like not even original. But
No, you could reuse spot. You could reuse spots, but it took. I'm impressed
it
that
wasn't
they
that long ago. So it's not like, it wasn't like 10 years ago that they did it. No, it was
right.
Wait, was that when he beat Moxley for the title?
yeah, Moxley when he beat Moxley.
Man,
Right.
I don't even.
Yeah,
I don't.
good point though.
Sorry, I said Ambrose.
I just no. I mean, I know who you're talking about, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, other than that, there wasn't. They were going back and forth. They were, showcasing everything they were doing. They were using each other's moves. But yeah, that got kind of pushed to the side because there was no full implications on what this match outcome would be.
It's supposed to be the main event.
Yeah, but the main event
And
was Reigns.
the way they pushed it.
Yeah,
It was a grudge match, but
Yeah.
what comes of this now though? Like what are they doing with Punk? What are they doing with Ron? I just don't get it. I'm not compelled at all. I want to.
I think they're gonna have a feud all the way up to Royal Rumble. As I told Tim last week, I think they're gonna have them pull 1 and 2 and start off the Rumble. None of them are gonna win. Roman's not gonna win because we're predicting Cena.
It's John Cena's last year. Of course he's going to break Ric Flair's record at WrestleMania.
Right.
And if that's not what happens, then I don't know what I mean,
Why was he here?
right. What
Why did he come back for one more year?
Are they just going to give him he's had every single individual accolade you can get
Right.
in wrestling in one company. He's doesn't need to wrestle anymore.
No.
He's a movie star. And he's actually pretty damn funny. I got Peacemaker really made me laugh hard. What else can they do? The only thing that he can do is win the world title and then hold it for a little while and then bow out.
And Survivor Series. Yeah.
Or you think he's going to hold the belt? That's a long time to hold the belt.
Yeah. Well, it'd be stupid to give him for like 1 month and then have him lose it unless he gets injured. But
then this is what I said to you the other day. So he's going to win. He's going to wrestle Cody, and they're going to have babyface versus babyface, or is he going to wrestle Gunther?
I can't see him beating Gunther though.
Also, oh yeah, did you see Sami Zayn being able to beat Gunther? But he did.
Yeah, because that was stupid. They wanted him to give up the belt. That was
the only thing that we can take into consideration is that if you look at John Cena's title reigns, right, his world title reigns, he's held both of those titles, right? He's held the WWE Championship, he's held the World Heavyweight Championship, the big gold belt, right? Which is now the belt that Gunther has, essentially. So How many times did he hold the WWE belt versus the World Heavyweight Championship? And maybe that's how they'll determine which one he wins. But I don't know. If
Or
he doesn't pick
here's
Ric
my
Flair, then I don't understand the point of any of this.
here's my 2 cents
Right.
on it though. If it really is his last hurrah, his last, match, he's gonna win all the way up until whatever match he has at WrestleMania. But if it is going to be his last match, officially or otherwise, this is just instinct. This takes you to the, what wrestlers take to the grave, one of those things. It's always best to go out on your back. And for the final match, that's what I think Cena's going to do. But what is going to transpire before then, if there is going to be, a title involved, getting the road to WrestleMania after the Royal Rumble is going to be fun. But boy, oh boy, and that's what I think. Though it's like wrestlers know it's always best to go out on your back, and when they do, they definitely,
True.
do proper. But then again, he's going to show up 5 years later at like Ring of Honor and win the title for a week or something. They get to do a lot of that stuff after the fact too. But still, at least as far as the last big run, okay, enough telling us about it, Cena. Just get in there, show us
Just do it, right?
whatever match you're going to have, right?
I was thinking of one other thing that he never did in his career that would really shake things up. And that's if he made a heel turn.
That's a different kind of conversation right
It is.
there. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
if you- that would set up the whole Cody Rhodes thing if he made a heel
Right.
turn.
That would make the whole story that much better.
Yeah, so he wins the Royal Rumble. He talks about who he wants to face, this and that, and he backstabs Cody Rhodes, and he becomes a heel, or Cody becomes the heel. Like, you can do either way, but I don't see him going against
I
Gunther.
prefer they do it with Cena.
And I see, and then the other thing is like, yeah, we're talking about Cena in his final year. Like, The Rock has been appearing everywhere lately. So what implications?
And here's the thing: they have a Broadway at WrestleMania. They each have a win over. They're 1-1 with each other at WrestleMania.
Right.
So they're going to have like a tiebreaker kind of thing. I would see that more than a collision with Cody or something.
So what? Roman's going to win the Royal Rumble and go against Cody?
No, Cena's going to win. I'm pretty sure.
I wonder what the odds
But
are.
from there, I don't know. That's a good question. I should make a note and actually look that up. It's just like,
Well, they keep pushing this Rock Roman thing at WrestleMania. So
Right. And I think that's what's going to happen is Roman was ready to win. Cena throws him out. The Rock gets pissed off because he's supposed to be the tribal chief, this and that. Rock is the high chief. And that probably starts the whole WrestleMania thing for them. So who knows how it's going to turn out? I guess we'll just have to wait in a couple of weeks. Cena odds for 815. I don't know what that means. So if you bet $1, you win $8. You lose $15. I guess that's how it goes. Seth Rollins is 13-8. CM Punk and The Rock are 6-1 odds.
Well, we know Cody's not going to win because he's the champion. Right. So he's not going to take 3 years in a row.
All right. Plus 350 if you want to go by that. So
unless Cody does a heel turn.
I can see Cody turning into a heel. It's just he's not the babyface is not really working. So
not, and it didn't. But and that's he wasn't over in AEW at all. I watched his whole run in AEW, and it was like nobody cared. And now, like, you're getting to that same point. Like when he first came here, he was over the American Nightmare, blah blah blah. He was more compelling before he had the title.
right, it was the
Now that he's
story.
a champion, they have his just no rivalries at all. Like it's just I'm Kevin Owens. Really, enough with him, man.
Yeah, they
like
keep flopping them back and forth like a pancake. All right, you're gonna be good this week. All right, you're gonna be bad. All right, you're gonna be good this week. All right, you're gonna be bad.
that's how Kevin Owens' entire career has been. Ever since he was in the Indies, ever since he was in Ring of Honor, he's always been this flip flopper guy. Like I'm tired. He should just go to AEW.
Well, how about this? Kevin Owens wins the belt,
You know what? I'd rather see that.
and then you can have Cena
That's-
versus Owens.
You know what?
That's in the cards, man. I did
But
that.
it's-
That's probable.
But are they going to end his reign less than a year?
Who? Cody?
Yeah.
I mean, they could always bring it back to the company disrespecting him because the way they disrespected his brother and his father, and this is how I don't know what they're doing with him, but they're not booking him right.
No,
They haven't really since he won the title. They haven't booked him right at all.
Yeah, and they do that a lot too. Like, okay, we got him here. Now what? You'll always have that story continue once you get the title. This is what the plan is to go forward. But with these script writers, they're like, okay, we're gonna have this plan for him to get the title. All right, you got him the title. What's his direction now?
Now what?
And he hasn't done anything. Like, he's had okay matches, and there's really hasn't been that whole big rematch. And now it's that going to be the thing. And then, like, we're really going to see Cena versus Gunther. Like,
I haven't liked anything coming from Cody.
no.
Since for almost the last year, it's just been boring.
And that's the thing. They give him the ultimate push. He is the golden boy of this era, and how they push him to that, and they made it be known that okay, yeah, he's going to be the top face for a while. And I wouldn't say stale, but it's not going over. He's like less homoerotic Homelander. That's that.
I want to see Homelander with the belt,
You know what I mean?
but I don't think he could beat a Mega Man.
Wasn't Homelander a heel?
Yes, Homelander.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It was a Mega Man.
But still, it just another sense. I just see where that's.
Did you watch The Boys yet, Mike?
No.
You gotta watch The Boys.
I literally watched the beginning of it that you showed me, and that was it. I haven't watched it. It's on the queue, man. There's too much stuff to watch.
I know.
I can't
But-
get
Yeah, but the boys is I hate to say it, the boys is one of them. The last season, not so much. They're getting off the rails a little bit. They're going to have one more, cap off the series. But I don't know. I like them. It is kind of funny. I like where they're going with it. But you gotta watch the boys.
I mean, you guys are. Many people have been telling me this. I know about some of these infamous episodes, this one with the
Herogasm.
orgy and stuff. Like, I've heard plenty of people talk about this orgy episode.
They talk about dildos
Herogasm.
a lot in this.
They talk about dildos a lot.
Oh, yeah. Superhero dildos, not just
Superhero dildos. Great, fantastic.
Hero guys.
I'm all
Back
about
to
this
war, like-
version of the
Way past
superhero
the
genre,
screen.
since that's become stale as well. So I mean, that's why that seems like it'd be.
Yeah, but this was a different take. This wasn't your typical PG-13, show no violence thing. This was all out blood, as you saw.
Yeah, no, I
The
saw
first
that
15 minutes, the
opening
guy
scene.
run through a girl with blood splattered everywhere,
Yeah,
and not knowing what he was doing because he was high on drugs. Like, so it's
that's one of the things. That's why Cena worked really well with the Peacemaker series, because it's subversion of the superhero genre.
Right.
It's really
Right.
the funny stuff. I mean, so some of the dialogue coming out, just listening to him, say that with a straight face, and it's pretty
You
funny.
watch the intro?
Yeah, of course,
Like
the
him
intro's great.
dancing and
Yeah. No, he surprises me because I was never that big of a fan of his. He was just too kind of like this clean cut, all American guy. I prefer like a heel champion or something, except for Bruno. But he's coming to his own. I think he's shown that he's a talented guy outside of the wrestling realm, and he could succeed in film and TV. So he's a pretty funny guy. I think he's leaps and bounds ahead of Dwayne, man. I'll tell you that. But
Dwayne is too commercialized now.
plus he's everything that I read about him, and like he just doesn't. He sounds awful.
Gets a little Holly weird, doesn't it?
So, did you hear what happened at the Golden Globes
No, what happened?
when Vin Diesel came out to?
Oh yeah. So
Yes.
yeah,
Hey, Dwayne, and they just stared at each other.
They have some kind of feud.
Oh yeah,
Funny thing about Vin Diesel. So on
what about
Letterboxd,
someone old? Isn't he like 60?
no, he's not that old yet.
Oh, he's
I
old.
think no, Vin Diesel's like I think he's probably like 10 years older than you. Oh wait, that isn't
I'm
almost
48, so he's like almost.
Okay,
60.
wait, okay, I correct. All right, but on Letterboxd, how they do it on like Spotify or Apple Music at the end of the year, they'll give you like all your stats, like oh you listen to Judas Priest the most or Black Sabbath or whatever. So on Letterboxd, it showed me who my most watched actor was in the year 2024, and it was Vin Diesel. And I'm like, I don't remember watching so many movies with Vin Diesel. Like, what is it? This algorithm is wrong somehow.
What did you watch?
The Riddick movies, I remember I kind of watched them all, but that's only like 5 or 6. Maybe
Guardians of the
5
Galaxy.
movies. I didn't watch any of the Fast and the Furious movies.
What about Guardians of the Galaxy? Then you had X.
That's right, Guardians of the Galaxy. He is Groot, so anything with Groot would be him. Yeah, okay. So
Did you watch Saving Private Ryan? Did you watch
watch Saving Private
Nanny?
Ryan.
Did you watch?
No, I definitely didn't watch the Nanny.
Mr.
No,
Pacifier.
the Pacifier. No, the Tooth Fairy. No, that's
Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna see. I'm getting those.
Oh,
confused now.
those are brutal movies. Jesus. I just had
Nanny
big
was
fun of it.
Hulk Hogan, wasn't he?
No, he was. Wait. Yeah, Hulk Hogan was
The Nanny.
The Nanny or
Who was
Mr.
the Tooth
Nanny?
Fairy? Yeah,
Mr.
The
Nanny.
Rock was the Tooth Fairy.
Mr. Nanny, Suburban
Right.
Commando.
Right. The
Suburban-
Rock was the Tooth Fairy, and Vin Diesel was Mr. Pacifier or something like that. He was a nanny.
Pacifier,
He was
yeah.
like a security guard, and he had to watch over the
That was
kids.
actually pretty cool. The pacifier, that was actually pretty cool. I mean, I think like that. I mean, go around my basement, it's like Mr. and Mrs. Smith down here with, it's like, okay, what's this? Oh, hidden battle block. You know what I mean? So it's just like, so it's fun down here. But yeah, I could see it getting like that. Anyway. Sorry.
Anyway, we went off on another tangent. That's
Yeah.
okay.
That's gonna happen.
Yeah, I
That's
do
what
that.
podcasts are for.
Yeah.
All in all, to get back to Raw.
Yeah, sorry, I go too far off the block, and I just like, wait a minute now.
Well,
Well, that's the thing.
we'll get more of a structure as we keep going.
As long as we have a base,
Hopefully.
we're fine.
Yeah.
I love what we got going on. Mike, I gotta know more about you. But as far as what we're doing, where we're going, I love it. But as far as me, everything is on my shoulders now. It's just like I could just leave it out there on YouTube, or that's the thing. I want to edit everything, but I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I should pay into Riverside, see how much they really have here as far as my brand and being able to put in, media. If I can do the same things on here, it's kind of the same way as Canva. it'd be great to be able to do it all in one spot. But I think that's what I might be able to do if I pay into Riverside. So I'm going to try to do that. At least I decided to, that was the tougher aspect. At least now when I get into editing, I can do it all, even flow. Even though I do really like the intro that I did, actually I got an intro going on Canva, but I could do something if I could do something similar on here. I'm just going to keep it on one thing. I won't have to try to like this video. I would have to break it up into so many segments and I'll upload it onto Canva, do editing, piece everything together that way, make it fun. But
Yeah, whatever
Um,
platform is easiest for you to. I mean, editing is always the most tedious part of the process. So
Or we could just leave it as raw footage and just say, here it is. If you want to do like YouTube stuff and put little blurbs and stuff like that everywhere, that's up to you. But if we're just doing podcasts, you don't have to do too much editing. Like there's
I
going to
mean,
be
we could
like,
also we could put the audio up on other platforms too. Kind of do
I
what
put something like this. Once I put something together, like with this, it's like, yeah, I would kind of, I'm going to put stuff on Rumble. Spotify maybe. I'm not. I don't think. I don't know. And Instagram. So there'll be a couple of spots where I'll be kind of spreading things out. But it's going to be mostly for YouTube and like I said, with our conversations, it'll get into all things wrestling, getting into movies, the geeky end of things, from sci-fi to fantasy to anything that strikes us, and just getting into the side conversations, like getting into the boys and everything like that, is just like, okay, this is cool. And thank you, Mike, for coming in, and everything
of
like
course.
that. And I'll be able
Thanks
to
for
do
having me.
things. And this is turning out good. I was hoping to have a cousin or two involved, but like I said, well, we may or may not have other guests as we go and things like that. But I like what we got going so far, and my deal right now is going to come down to editing, and I will be doing that first thing tomorrow morning. So, but once again, thank you. I like where we're going with that, and we'll continue this same bat time, same bat channel.
yep.
Next, just keep it, just
How much you want to do
do a
earlier?
weekly show with
Yeah.
that.
Let's play it by ear.
Yeah, earlier if possible, that'd be fine too. I'm trying to keep Sundays for that open between that and several other discussions. So, but anyway, I got the little ones beckoning me. They got home, so it's also supper time. So a little late there. Gonna get but like I said, we'll come into next week. But in the meanwhile, here I'm gonna take what we got and see how far and see what I could really do with it. It'd be a lot better if I could do it in one spot, because trying to transfer this much, over an hour conversation, it just doesn't work. But then again, it's also uploading as we doing it, so I don't know how I'm gonna work that in.
Right.
But anyway, this is all gonna be cool. This is all gonna be fun, and I love what we're doing so far.
Yep.
So
Sounds
have a
good.
good night, guys.
All right. You
You
too.
Yeah,
too, man.
cool.
We'll catch up next week.
All right.
Yep.